The notification arrived while I was in a meeting I wasn't paying attention to. Not because the meeting was unimportant. Because my phone kept vibrating, once, twice, then again with the stubborn persistence of something that didn't understand context. 10800. For a moment, I assumed fraud. That strange, familiar relief of believing the problem belonged to an invisible criminal rather than someone you loved. By the time the meeting ended, the transactions were still there. Cruise line, excursions, onboard packages. My mother's name listed under billing details. I stared at the screen longer than necessary, waiting for my brain to rearrange the information into something less specific. It didn't. 2. My parents had lived in my house for 6 years. Temporarily, at first. After my father's business collapsed, after my sister moved out, after one financial complication folded into another. The arrangement had formed the way many family arrangements do, quietly, without documentation, built on shared understanding and softened by sympathy. Rent-free, they insisted it was just until things stabilized. Things, I learned, have a broad definition of stability. When I called, my mother answered cheerfully. "Hi, sweetheart." There was the faint echo of television in the background. Some daytime program. Something light. I saw the credit card charges. A pause. Then, oh, not surprise, recognition. "That was your sister's cruise." "My credit card," I said. Another pause, shorter this time. "Well," she replied, "you don't really use it." I remember standing by the office window, watching people move through the parking lot below. A man adjusting his jacket against the cold. Someone laughing near a car door. Ordinary movements, unfolding in a world where this conversation was not happening. "It's $10,000. She's been dreaming about this trip for years." "That doesn't explain." "You don't need the money anyway." She said it lightly. Almost playfully. I could picture the expression without seeing it, that small, dismissive smile she used when something was already decided. We had dinner that weekend. My sister radiated excitement. Brochures, photos, cabin upgrades. Plans for sunrise yoga and midnight buffets. My parents watched her with the warm pride usually reserved for graduations. No one apologized. No one framed it as borrowing. It was treated as weather, inconvenient, unavoidable, beyond discussion. "You'll be fine," my mother said, waving a hand. "You always are." I smiled. "Enjoy it." After they left, the house changed. Not physically, but acoustically. Silence has weight when you're used to navigating around other people's routines. Their television volume. Their kitchen habits. Their casual occupation of space you technically own but rarely inhabit. For the first time, I walked through every room without anticipation. No negotiations about storage, no adjustments to thermostat preferences. No background commentary about my life choices, just furniture, just walls, just paperwork. Ownership is a strangely intimate concept. I had never thought much about it. The house had been an asset, a safety net, a long-term investment that happened to shelter my parents. Until the credit card charges forced a different framing. Responsibility. Liability. Precedent. I scheduled a meeting with a property lawyer. Not dramatically. Not angrily. The decision arrived with the same quiet certainty my mother had used. You don't need the money anyway. 2. The office was beige in the way professional spaces often are. The lawyer spoke with measured neutrality, flipping through documents I had barely examined in years. "You are the sole legal owner." "Yes." "No tenancy agreement." "No." "No rental payments." "No." He nodded. There was no music swelling, no cinematic emphasis. Just a pen sliding across a desk. Everything is straightforward. The simplicity unsettled me more than resistance would have. The sale unfolded as logistics, valuation, listing, viewings conducted while my family sailed through curated sunsets and formal dinners. I didn't follow their trip updates closely. Not out of bitterness, but distance. Their joy existed in a separate narrative now. Return day arrived gray and cold. My phone began vibrating mid-morning. Then again, then continuously. By noon 25 missed calls, Voicemail notifications stacking like unanswered questions. I drove to the house in the early evening. The driveway was crowded with suitcases. My parents stood near the front door, my mother's posture rigid, my father's expression strained with a confusion he hadn't yet organized into anger. You sold it. It wasn't a question. Yes. Live here. You were staying here. For 6 years.
Yes.
That's living. I nodded slowly. I covered utilities, maintenance, taxes, repairs. Silence. You used my credit card. My mother's jaw tightened. That's different. I waited. She didn't continue. My sister stood slightly behind them, her earlier glow replaced by something quieter, less defined. Not guilt. Not quite defensiveness. Just discomfort. We have nowhere to go, my father said. His voice was tired rather than accusatory. I arranged a short-term rental, I replied. 3 months. They looked at me as if I'd spoken another language. I'll cover the deposit. My mother's eyes narrowed. So this is punishment? No, what else would you call it? I considered the question. An adjustment. No one yelled. No one cried. The absence of drama made the moment feel strangely unfinished, like a conversation paused rather than concluded. They gathered their suitcases. My mother avoided my eyes. My father hesitated before leaving. My sister lingered longest, then followed without speaking. 2. The house no longer belonged to any of us. The relationships, I suspected, might not either. But for the first time in years, the silence that followed felt different. Not empty, not heavy, just mine.